Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast with zero upside. And now, oh, holy mother of God. He's here. He's got a Bud Light hat on. Make it loud for the legend himself. It's Pepito.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Apocalypse Soon, the podcast with no upside. I am here with Kevin Tink and my producer slash sidekick, our engineer, Rob Hebert. Rob, say hello.
Hello.
Hello. And also, we are here with Steven Feinartz, the man who directed Bitter Buddha, my other two specials, and he just directed Mark Maron's special, big Hollywood comedic director. Steve, how are you, bud?
Good, buddy. Good to see you.
Good to see you. A little surprise guest. We usually don't have guests here on Apocalypse Soon. It's kind of a tour de force for me.
Yes, it's nice to come to the deepest part of Burbank.
I don't think this is Burbank.
Oh, you told me it was Burbank.
Well, that was to get you to come. I think we're in Sun Valley, right, Rob?
Sun Valley, but Burbank Airport is like right down the street.
Man, you got to see these planes fly overhead, dude.
It's awesome.
I mean, they're close over here.
Do you guys, after the show, just lay on Kevin's car and just look up in the sky?
Yeah, we get high and we lay.
You mean
right
like licorice pizza?
Yeah,
that kind of
absolutely.
That kind of vibe.
Yeah.
By the way, those of you who don't know licorice pizza, you're dead to me. First of all, and then second of all, it was about the valley, which is where we are.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see it?
I loved it. Yeah, it was
I
great.
loved it too.
I did too. I liked it.
I did too. I think because we're three guys on the way out. People who are on the back nine, people who are on the back nine, golf metaphor about life is almost over. And you sort of like nostalgic things.
I do, yeah. Absolutely.
You like nostalgic things.
What was the other one that he did with Daniel Day-Lewis? The Infinite. What was it called?
With Daniel Day?
Phantom Thread. That's it.
Now that one I haven't made it through yet, but I was very high when I was watching it. I was very high.
It was good. It was really good.
It was?
Yeah, it was really good. It was nostalgic.
By the way, can I talk to people for a second about getting high and in relation to Phantom Thread? If you are going to watch Phantom Thread, do not watch it really high. Have a decent amount so it gives you a buzz, but don't watch it really high because you're going to want to switch it to something like true. You're going to want to switch it to something more visceral.
I think Phantom Thread's more of like a wine. You have like a glass of wine.
True. I think you're right. Phantom Thread pairs well with a I don't know, a kind of tangy
Syrah, maybe.
A Syrah,
right.
a skay Syrah. Why haven't the Syrah people gotten into that?
Very good question.
Very good.
It's
question.
marketing. It's right there.
It's right there.
They're lazy.
Yeah. So Stevie, what else is any? You went to Largo last night and saw Sarah Silverman,
Yeah.
Zach Galifianakis. Largo is the place to perform in LA. It's where I used to perform a lot. It's where the cool kids perform.
I think I told you they're going to try to get Eddie and Friends at some point.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh man, I can't wait not to invite different people. I'm so bitter. I'm still, and all my Eastern philosophy says, don't be like, all of the Eastern spirituality is like, bitterness is ridiculous. You don't need people's approval. You have everything you need. We have everything
Absolutely.
we need.
Flanny was telling me, who runs Largo, Flanagan. He was saying how fucking amazing you are.
I love
Eddie Pepitone and
Flanny.
Friends, and he says he misses you.
One time,
So
Flanny said to me, and I was talking to him about doing a show. Me, Dana, and Bobcat had done one show where we passed the mic to each other or some shit, and we got kind of half-assed crowds, and for a couple, and Flanny goes, "You know what this town is like. They're all star fuckers."
He's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
Especially in that area. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because I've played a couple of those. Like Jeff Garland would bring me on. He calls it, I love Jeff. He goes, Jeff Garland and Associates, he called it, instead of Friends. It's those little tweaks that make everything.
Oh,
and you were talking about Wellbutrin. That needs to be tweaked.
Little tweaks.
Just a bit.
Yeah.
Little nervous. Kev is on Wellbutrin.
Yeah, I sit in my chair. I'll be editing your clips, and I'll just be like this. And my wife's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, the Wellbutrin. I'm tweaking a little bit.
Man, I feel for you, man.
It's good though. I'm out of bed.
You're what?
I'm out of bed though.
Oh, it gets you up
It gets me up out of bed
because of the chemistry.
Crack. Yeah.
If you can figure out how to channel that, though, you know what I mean? I feel like maybe you turn it around and make it a good thing, the jitteriness. You know, you got to start running.
I've cleaned a lot of copper. I've cleaned a lot of copper and
yeah, well, you're big on Egyptian earrings.
Oh, I love it. I love a good Egyptian earring.
I don't know if that makes any sense. It did to me. I saw big copper earrings in my mind. Liz Taylor wore a lot of Egyptian stuff after Cleopatra. By the way, let me talk to the people. Liz Taylor, why isn't anybody talking about her lately? She had like 8 marriages.
Yeah.
And I get it. Marriage is difficult.
Well, her and Richard Burton had a very, very famous feud. They would fight and they would scream at each other.
Yeah.
And, you know.
Did they do
Virginia
Who's
Woolf?
Afraid?
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah.
Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf? That should be seen. Did you see that, Rob?
Love that movie.
Oh, you do?
Love that movie.
Edward Albee.
Edward
Yes.
Albee. Yeah. What did you love about it?
I liked how desperate everybody in that movie is. It felt very realistic to me.
Yes.
A lot of quiet desperation turned into alcoholism and anger.
Yeah. And we don't have enough of that in the movies, right?
No. Yeah. The only people who are well, there's not a lot of like that chaos. Uncut Gems was kind of like that channel that sort of like really
that a lot.
insane energy.
That was a man on Wellbutrin.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Holy shit. Uncut Gems. I think we've probably talked about it before.
I don't
know. I'm not a Sandler fan comedic wise, you know.
Acting. You like his acting.
But yeah, his Uncut Gems, Punch Drunk Love. Was
Yes.
there another one?
The one he just did recently, the basketball one. I forget what it was called.
Oh, I didn't see that.
It
was
good.
Great
The
too.
Hustle?
Hustle.
Yeah,
it was really good.
Very good.
Yeah.
By the way, it's all in the title. You have to have a good title and a good poster. Have you heard that?
Mm-hmm. You gotta
you
have a
heard
good
that?
poster.
Like
yeah.
a one-word title is the best, like Smoke.
Yeah.
I
They could
agree.
do Eddie. Eddie would be a good title. Just Eddie exclamation
There you
point.
Eddie
They
exclamation.
did a movie with I think it was Whoopi Goldberg called Eddie years ago, but maybe we could
Really?
take that back.
I think it's time for a remake.
Absolutely.
Starring Eddie
Time
Pence.
for a remake.
I think we could do something. I like to see you as like a grizzled detective
Yeah.
or something. You know?
I wouldn't mind doing that if I could find. I think here's an idea: a grizzled detective who is so down to earth, salt of the earth guy, which I am. I was raised as a seaman, and by seaman I mean sperm.
raised that way.
No, but a really down to earth detective like a Elmore
Months,
Jane-
like a months type of.
Yeah, yeah. People don't know that
Oh,
reference.
Right. That's an
But
Eddie, old Eddie.
David Feldman podcast reference, but he goes through portals. He goes through time portals, and and then he's all of a sudden in another era,
Yeah.
or dealing with either people in alien cultures, or like he's back in Roman times.
Are
But
you
he's
like a time cop, like
oh shit!
like
Wait,
that
there was
kinda
a
thing?
movie like that already.
Well, no, it's not. What was that? What was that?
Time
one?
Cop. That was good. Was
Jean-
that with
Jean-
Affleck?
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
yeah.
Or what's the other one that was kind of a version of that with Tom Cruise?
Oh yeah, I
Minority
did-
Report.
Minority Report. Yeah,
I
yeah.
heard
Sounds
that
like
was
It was
good.
good. Yeah.
That's how I look at pornography. I like him in Minority Report. I'll have like 20 screens up, and I'm just moving them around. And I'm
What?
like-
What in Minority Report they had 20 screens up?
Yeah,
It's like anal.
He's looking at stuff, and he's in,
Big
he's
asses.
in, yeah, he's in virtual reality.
Oh,
and he
shit.
can move everything with his hands and stuff, and that's
What were
the
they
only way I can
addressing?
get off.
Were they addressing the fact that we are so split up and divided with being bombarded with media, or I'm off the mark?
He's basically he's able to look into the future to see the crimes that are gonna be committed, and then he
Yes.
arrests people before they can commit
Was
the
it a
crimes.
Philip K. Dick?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
I think so.
Oh, that was Philip K. Dick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So maybe this is your movie. It's like a Minority Report meets Chinatown.
exactly.
A noir Minority Report.
Look, I don't, and this is me in the Roman era. Look, I don't care if you're a centurion or a goddamn fellatio expert. I am looking for information on water. You have dykes. Where I'm from, there's plenty of dykes. They all wear comfortable shoes.
You have a pencil and a small pad of paper. You're just writing it down.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah, Steve, get on that. Let's make this movie.
Let's
for
do it.
Eddie.
Yeah,
I mean, let's make this happen.
Well, we need cute actors. That's what we know. We need that. So
Well, there's plenty of
we gotta
those
get
in
some
L.A.
Cute actors.
yeah.
There's
And then-
cute actors just like you can't throw a rock without hitting 5 or 6 cute actors in this town. You know?
Yeah.
I go and there are places where people are really attractive here in L.A. and one of them is Whole Foods. I can't afford Whole Foods, but I like going in there.
You just like to walk around.
I have like a racing form,
Right.
just yelling, "Where is the red quinoa?" And these models of both sexes look at me askew.
You know where you go? You go to the one on 3rd and Fairfax. People don't think about that one.
3rd and Fairfax.
Yeah,
Isn't that a
3rd
Trader Joe's?
No, 3rd and Fairfax. You go all the way down, all the way below Beverly by the Grove. That's where Eddie goes, and he
On the Whole Foods?
the Whole Foods.
That
It's
must
old
be a
Whole
very
Foods.
Tony one.
Yeah.
Very Tony.
Mm-hmm.
I could see you with just like a bag of apples walking around, just like, what are you getting?
What are you getting?
Hey, doll, what do you got there? What is
Hey.
that? What is that? Greek yogurt?
Hey, doll. I see you got some body wash and some exfoliant and organic sweet potatoes.
I see some pokey, baby. Is that pokey? Salmon.
Is that a fish?
Yeah, it's like a fish bowl.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
There's a shitty chain called Pokey.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's I think it's like a Pokeball or Poke. What?
Poke or
Pokeball is a porn movie.
Yes. That's how I've heard you described as Pokeball. That guy's Pokeball.
Well, it used to be adorkable. That's what they-
God. And what is up with you, Kevy baby? Haven't seen you in a bit.
You just living,
Just living. Wellbutrin, we got that.
Got the Wellbutrin.
Have you maybe start a GoFundMe to get stabilized? GoFundMes are usually for people who really are in bad shape.
Well, the Patreon can be part of that too. The Patreon.
Well, I don't know if I want to burden our Patreon people with it.
I don't think I ever told you. There was a guy when I first moved here. It was an open mics, and this guy was a wreck. He was a sort of
Well, it
wreck
was an
of a
open
person,
mic.
and just not a great person to be around. But but was homeless, and we all kind of felt bad for the guy, and started a GoFundMe to get a Winnebago. And it was like $7,000, and we got it. Like
Really?
yes.
great.
Who started the GoFundMe?
I
You
think
guys or him?
He did.
Okay.
Yeah, and got the Winnebago, and in a week, ended up driving it into a lake,
Oh my God.
and then put up another GoFundMe for something else, and nobody.
Hello, I'm
nobody-
Fred Johnson. I just achieved the goal on a GoFundMe of $7,000 to get a Winnebago, and I just drove it into a lake. So now I'm gonna try to raise $13,000 to get it extracted by the
Fred,
LAPD.
what do you mean? You drove the last one into a lake. What are you gonna do? We can't trust you, Fred.
No.
Please trust me. I am better now.
I think that it was literally like forgot to put the parking brake on and was asleep in the back, and then
Oh, at least he didn't drive it.
Yeah,
I
and then
thought
it-
he intentionally was like,
fuck
no.
this world.
Well, that could have happened to anybody. So
That
Yeah,
could
right.
happen to
It could, it
anybody.
could.
Who hasn't forgotten to put the emergency brake on
Yeah.
your vehicle when you're in a steep incline with a body of water?
That's right.
Who hasn't forgotten?
It's just one of those things you don't even think about it until you're already in the water.
Have you ever done anything like either one of you guys? Floor is open. Have you ever done anything like leave? Seriously, I did this the other day. This is the kind of thing. I fucking was boiling water in a little pot for my coffee, which is a little French press, and I get terrific coffee. And I was boiling it, and I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be good,"
Wait, do you get the beans already?
I
ground, or
don't
do you
like
grind
to
your-
ground them. I do have a grinder, but I don't like to be that noisy. You know,
Well, meanwhile, people are with the leaf blowers outside your.
I know,
house
but
and
I'm
you're not.
more
Yeah,
considerate.
you like to keep it calm.
I don't. Well, a
in the morning.
coffee grinder. If let's say the person next to me is trying to get his Wellbutrin levels, and you hear that coffee grinder, it's like being assaulted.
Yeah.
You know, by a SWAT team. But have you ever seen a SWAT team on one of these shows when they come into a family with children?
Yes.
They burst down the doors and they're yelling at kids
Yeah.
with guns pointed at them, going,
Oh, yeah.
"Get down!" And the kids start
Yeah.
crying.
That's the way I get my kids up in the morning.
SWAT team?
God, I always swat them. I swat those kids because, you know, they have a hard time getting up. I tell them, if you don't get up, the cops are going to come in here and start pointing guns at you.
Get up!
The Italian
That's a
police
good
force
James
is
Brown.
coming up.
So,
So, coffee beans.
so I was boiling the water. Really, you know, it was Pete's coffee I had. It was called Big Bang. I had never had it before. Pete's. I've had Pete's, but I never had the Big Bang flavor. And I'm thinking, it's a terrific name.
You love Big Bang Theory.
Well, no, I didn't like the TV show,
Okay.
but I do like the theory that the universe, even though I've punched holes in that theory, and I don't know if any of you guys have, but, oh, really? The universe started? Oh, that's how the universe got started?
Well, I remember you got kicked out of USC because you'd go in a lot of the biology classes and you'd do this.
Physics.
I apologize. Yeah.
Biology is when you're trying to make a new strain of marijuana.
Yeah. Right.
But
You left
no.
the water.
Yeah, I love the water. And all of a sudden, Charlotte had to go to the bathroom. When she sits by the door, it's red. It's like red rum. And that's not the word I was thinking. It was code red. And I forgot about the water. And I took her on a leisurely walk.
Oh shit.
Leisurely.
Yeah.
All right?
Was she running free, Charlotte? You let her
Yes,
go?
in the park.
In the park.
Oh,
I
wow.
let her. It's an off leash park. I mean, legally it's not, but everybody does it, and you just see dogs prancing around in the fields.
People are fucking in the fields. It's a very open
Very free.
thing.
Everybody's got a picnic blanket down with a terrific, vivacious Syrah or Burgundy.
Zinfandel.
Zinfandel.
That's right.
A tight, taut Zinfandel. And anyway,
A Malbec.
so I get back to the fucking apartment and I just hear crackling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the? And I slough it off. Like,
Yeah.
I lay down on my couch and then I smell some weird, the pot. Luckily, I had a great pot, you know.
Right.
This was a terrific pot. I don't know if any of you have ever gotten Califan.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
they're great. I love the chemicals they put in their pants. It's great.
Look, at this point, by the way, folks, if you're trying to save the planet, that ship has sailed. We are now...
Non-stick, everything, just go for it. Non-stick coating on your pans. Who gives a shit? It's all fine. Don't worry about it.
No, but that water had burned itself off many, many, many minutes ago. And I could have just lit that whole fucking apartment like a torch.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well,
Have you guys
I've
ever
never-
done anything like that? Like leave an oven on, leave an iron?
An oven, yes. I left an oven on, and that now it haunts me forever. I always
Yes.
am concerned that I've left it on.
You still
so
haven't
go-
turned it off. You should just turn it off.
Don't tell me what to do.
Oh,
I mean, it's definitely not that scary, but we have a Brita water filter that we fill up. It's a big one.
Yeah.
And we put it on the sink on the tops, and then when I fill my water, but what I'll do is I'll put my cup under there, and I'll turn it on, and then I'll go do something, and then I forget all the time, and then I come back and there's just water pouring everywhere. And
Yeah.
my wife's
That
like,
doesn't.
"Don't
that doesn't,
do that."
Yeah.
it's pretty
I mean,
bad.
that's water damage, but it's not a lot. You know.
I like to go down and turn my car on and just leave it on.
Just leave it on overnight.
Just leave
see
it
what
on
happens.
overnight, yeah.
Yeah.
Because when my neighbors need to settle down a little
Yeah,
bit, you know,
yeah.
and I like to fill it.
I think fire
garage.
is a big. danger when you're stoned.
Yeah. Well, I've developed an OCD around like safety and like terms.
Have
of
you?
Yeah, I have to make sure I check the oven every night before I go to sleep. I check all the doors and the locks. I double check everything, and I think it's developed.
I checked the locks.
Yeah, I think there's something happened during COVID where I just like lost it.
We have a balcony, and this isn't to brag. That we have that kind of, I don't know. Is it a lifestyle?
It sounds like a lifestyle.
Is it just the fact that the apartment came with this useless piece of shit balcony?
Did you ever go tanning out there on the balcony?
If you saw this
mirror.
balcony, it's so small. Like, you basically can walk out on the balcony. Oh, God. What am I doing with my life?
Did you ever put like grass down or fake grass down for the dogs to go out there? And
It's so small.
It's too small. Yeah.
I mean, God, it's so sad. But anyway,
don't bring up Eddie's balcony. He gets
I've
very
started, and so we have a
depressed.
sliding door that goes to the back. And again, look, you can get to my lifestyle and have what I have if you put your nose to the grindstone and don't look back.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And don't worry about friends trying to keep you down because you're leaving them behind.
Don't pay
But
your
we have a
debts. Don't
slide.
pay your debts. Don't.
We have a sliding door to the balcony. And I'll tell you, I make sure that baby is locked all the time because, and I'll tell you why. The reason is the Next Door app. Hey, do you know this app?
Oh, my
It's a
God.
neighborhood app where everybody on it,
It's racist.
they're racist, and all they do is clamor about, look at this video of this person who was in my yard. Like,
I think the combination of that Ring doorbell thing where you can sort of see the video of people walking around and that Next Door, that combination is like this perfect storm of just racism and hatred. And
There's
fear.
Perfect Storm, another great
Perfect
movie
Storm.
with Wahlberg.
Clooney,
That's
yeah,
right.
Clooney and Wahlberg.
Clooney, Wahlberg, and a third guy.
Yeah.
Probably Kevin Bacon. I don't know.
Who was it?
Scott Wolf.
Scott
You're
Wolf
right,
is
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Coming
Scott
through
Wolf.
the clutch.
Are you sure you got that name right?
Yeah, I think he's right.
Yeah, Scott Wolf, right?
From Family of Five or Four. Whatever.
Party of Five?
Party of Five.
Family of Eight, was it?
I don't know.
Party of Five.
That's what he's from. And then he
No,
fell.
Rob
Where
is
is
good.
Wolf? Where is Wolf? We haven't seen Wolf in.
I don't know. The last I heard, he was he was leading the Jay Giles band. Oh, that's Peter Wolf. I'm sorry. Let's see. The Boy Who Cried Wolf, was he involved in that project?
I think I'm
Peter
wrong.
and the
I think Scott Wolf was in White Squall.
Thank
That's
you.
a different movie.
Oh,
Thank
okay.
you.
Perfect Storm was the one that you were talking about, right?
Thank
Was it
you.
Rockwell? Was it Sam Rockwell? No,
I don't
look it
think
up.
so. Rockwell only does things where he's replicated on the moon. Did you ever see that one? Pretty
I
good.
liked it. Yeah,
Spoilers.
that was Bowie's.
What?
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Spoiler.
That was
Spoiler.
David Bowie's son directed that.
No fucking way.
Duncan Jones. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Duncan Jones is David Bowie's son's
Yes.
name?
Mhm.
Does he still direct?
Yes, I believe he does. I think he did one. I forget the other movie he did, but Moon was the one that.
I think the other movie he did, I'm trying to think of a really bad.
So Perfect Storm is a pretty stacked cast. It's got George Clooney, Mark Wahlberg, John C. Reilly, Diane Lane, William Fichtner, who is like one of the best character
Love
actors.
William
ever.
who?
William Fichtner.
You know,
Okay, I got to check. I'm sure I know his face.
He's in Armageddon. He's in Dark Knight. He's in a bunch of crap. John Hawkes, another great character
Yeah.
actor.
I
He
think it was
in
John
Deadwood.
C. Reilly, the three on the
One that
boat,
you're-
though.
yeah.
You know, John C. was such a good dude.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Sweetheart.
so funny too. William. Oh yeah, William Fichtner. You know this guy.
Let me see him. Oh, fuck yeah. He's in everything.
So good.
That's his name?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dark Knight. He was in the bank. He was the bank robber or something.
Oh, yeah, he's great.
So why did I bring this up?
We were talking about Perfect Storm. Then we went into Scott Wolf, Party of Five.
Right, but I
Early-
don't.
I think we were talking about early onset dementia.
Yeah, we're talking. yeah. We're talking about leaving your friends behind when you make it, and you got that.
Oh,
balcony
thank you.
lifestyle.
Yes.
Thank you. We were talking about the perfect storm of Next Door app and the Ring doorbell camera.
Right.
Yes.
By the way, if you have Ring doorbell, you can make a movie. You can make a movie. A lot of people out there You don't need a lot of equipment these days. If you just have Ring doorbell, you can make a nice feature film, but it has to take place in front of your door. That is the one thing.
Somebody's probably done it. I think it's been done.
Oh
Yeah.
no,
I think
not
so.
on Ring doorbell.
I think it was like that was the
Technology.
idea. I think that was an indie film that came out a few years
Yeah.
ago.
Oh my God, I was so kidding about that.
I know.
You know,
Yeah, it's a one shot. It's a single shot. Very artistic. Yeah, a lot of packages delivered.
I make films now with just a a courtroom sketch artist. Like I'll just tell him or her. I'll just say, could you sketch a fight scene in front of a supermarket, and he'll whip it out like the fight scene. I go good. Now let's get a little character development. Just a guy sitting alone in his apartment, thumbing through, let's say, a magazine called Minority Report.
That's the movie.
Yeah,
I
and
like it.
it goes on and on like that.
Were you thinking of Ring Nation, the TV show?
Okay, that might be it.
It was going to be a reality show hosted by Wanda Sykes. Where Amazon,
That's
which
something
purchased
different
Ring.
than I was thinking of, but maybe I'm thinking of something else. There was something else with like somebody else did something with like the backup cameras in the cars. I'm not even making this up. Like they did a movie
funny.
using backup cameras.
I'll tell you, a car backing up killed the kid who was on the Star Trek movies. Do you remember the guy who played Chekhov?
No.
His car backed up
Oh,
in
right.
Studio City, right
Anton
here.
Yelkin, horrible. Yeah.
Oh my God.
His car
He got
just
trapped. He got
backed-
trapped in between his car and the
Yeah.
garage.
Good.
Check your
God.
surroundings for safety. Is
Yeah,
the
yeah.
movie. There was a indie movie, first feature film shot entirely on Prius backup camera.
Right.
That's insanely funny to me.
2016.
That's great. Can you imagine going into a studio and pitching that? Like the
Yeah,
whole
probably
thing.
it was self-funded.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I would think so.
Bobby, this is Ted here at United Pictures. Is there even a United Pictures? This is Ted at Century Fox or whatever we're called. Look, I just had a pitch from a kid. Entire movie shot on a Prius backup camera. Let's greenlight it. What do you say? Whatever you want, JR. You're such a pussy, Bobby. You know that? You just I wouldn't fucking greenlight that. You're fired. Imagine a guy who baits his assistants
Yeah.
into yesing him,
And
and
you
then
know, all
he,
these studios are owned by even bigger corporations that own
They
these
are.
studios, so they have to go to higher up, even above.
I do like that guy because the guy that wants to make sure he's not surrounded by yes men.
yes.
So then he asks
He
people
just
and they
find-
go, you're fucking fired.
And the only guy he'll keep is a guy who goes, I don't think that's gonna fly, JR.
yeah.
And he goes, yeah, you're promoted.
Yeah.
You've got my job. I'm fired. He fires himself.
I also think in the business, the people who go up the ladder are the people who say no the most, because those are the people that don't take any risks. And I think when you don't take risks, those are the people that like,
Yeah.
when you fuck up and you pick something that doesn't work out, those are the people. That
But those are the people, too, who pass up Seinfeld.
totally.
They
Yep.
pass up.
Yep.
Star Wars had such a hard time getting made.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And when it was presented to me, I said, this is not going to go. And I feel bad about
You
that.
hit him in the face. You hit George Lucas in the face. You
I said, first of all, I don't know what you're doing here. Pitching this fucking movie to me when
why are you in Staten Island?
I'm a bike messenger. What do you want from me, Lucas? I was a bike messenger for
Well,
a
they
while.
wanted you for the
Why not?
Princess Leia role for a while.
They did. I had a feminine quality that was. Well, let's just say I was on a wiffle ball team.
Well, your eyes. You have beautiful eyes.
I have beautiful eyes.
And there's an androgynous quality to you when
Yeah.
your eyes hit the light. Just at that
Help
moment.
me, Obi-Wan. You're my only hope. Help me.
Hey, how did that? Check the ring camera. See if we're gonna move on. Checking ring camera. Hey, why do you repeat what the fuck I say? I'm just checking ring camera, Al. Well, I don't get it though. I said it. Yeah, but I'm like letting everybody know they heard me. You're a redundant fuck. You're fired. Fired. Why are you saying that? That's what I do.
We're checking room tone. Check for room tone.
I'll tell you, people who don't know this, they do a room tone check, which means that everybody has to be quiet for a minute, I think it is. And there's nothing like it.
Oh,
There's
so
nothing like a
uncomfortable.
room tone check.
It's uncomfortable, especially after
is.
you're like you've done all this work and you got through the scene, and then
That's
everybody's
right.
got to stand still. For like
It's
a
usually
minute.
at the end of working that scene.
after you've gotten the best take, usually, or are ready to move on. You're
Right.
I had to do that once. I had to leave the room because they said they could hear my stomach.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Excuse me, Mr. Tinkin.
Because
Are you on Wellbutrin?
it just
You're chewing your food properly.
Are you chewing your food? Mr. Tinkin, hi, I'm the health expert here on Magic
Grey's Anatomy. We're on
Grey's Anatomy. That fucking thing is still on the air?
Unbelievable. I think she left the show. The one
Oh.
Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah, the big
She's like,
star.
I got out of this.
I'm outta here.
You guys keep going.
Dude, oddly enough, that when that happened, because that really did happen
Yeah.
with the room, it was on a Ring doorbell commercial shoot.
What?
No bullshit. It actually literally was.
What happened?
Insane.
Because they were getting room tone and my stomach was growling, and
And it was on a Ring
yeah,
camera
yeah.
commercial?
I did like a 5-day shoot for this Ring camera.
5 days.
Dude, it blew me away, and it was non-union, but there was like 7 trucks, and they rented out 3 houses. It was insane, but the talent was all non-union, so I got
Of
paid like
course.
$12 and some hummus. But it was fun.
Maybe you guys should do an episode on the Ring camera. Just do a whole episode where you're the camera's the Ring. Well, if the Patreon people give you a little bit more money, then maybe that's the step.
We can afford a
room-
ring.
a
Patreon, it's like getting blood out of a stone. You really have to have a broad popularity, which I don't know how to broaden my popularity.
Well, I like the mustache. I think
I
that is
think the
definitely
mustache-
it takes you into a different category of an everyman. I think it's good.
Jim Earl said to me on Facebook, he goes, and when someone says to you on Facebook something, it's it feels like a slap in the face. He said, "Who are you, the fireman from Sesame Street?" And I had never seen that, but it just made me laugh.
Well, they put there's a little picture of the guy, and I could see it. I could actually see it.
Yeah, it made me laugh, and I just liked it because I don't want to get involved with Earl.
That's right.
Jim Earl. He's very witty, and I don't need the hassle.
That's right.
And what happens with me if I get angry at somebody, I go right for their balls. Like
You get personal.
I get personal, and it's ugly immediately. I'll say, "How is it living in your parents' basement?"
Yeah.
Instead of coming back with a
Or
witty
you'll go after like a
rejoinder.
deceased loved one or something like that. Very too quickly after they passed.
You were giving Greg Fitzsimmons shit at
Was
the Comedy Store because his son was there.
Oh, yes.
And you go. There's no way you're related to this guy. You're a handsome young.
But that
guy
was
with
right
a-
in front of Fitzsimmons.
Yeah. But yeah, you got real personal. Then he went after you. You guys, I thought you guys gonna fight. It was got intense.
These
That
guys in
wouldn't
the
be-
Comedy Store, they can't help themselves.
That's right.
It's a free for all of
It's the roasts. It's the
yeah. It's where the roasts were born, apparently. No, actually, the roasts were born in the Friars Club.
right in the Friars Club. That's right.
Hey,
in
did
New
you
York.
ever see? By the way, you could go whenever you want. Did you ever see the Jeff Ross, Dave Attell pass the mic, bump the mic?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to see that because I'm fascinated with Attell.
Yeah.
It's really funny. Yeah, it's great. I mean,
It
Attell's
is.
so good in the moment. I mean, he's so fucking fast. Like he's so good.
But so is Ross, right?
Yeah, Ross is great. But
Yeah, they're
something about
great.
Attell, I like both of them, but Attell's like
Yeah.
fucking incredible. He's one of the funniest.
I
guys.
saw that. I did Skankfest, which, I don't want to brag again. It's like having a balcony door. I did Skankfest, and Attell was on it, and I was before Attell. Like it was me and then Attell on this showcase thing, and so I finished, and I was doing all this like my political stuff, like I was doing The Price is Right and the NFL announcer about these bombers could be 50 libraries in your community. So Attell comes on and he goes, boy, for a guy who looks like he makes his own ice cream, he really supports the little man. Like, I didn't even know what that meant, but it was so funny to me.
Yeah.
And it was
Making your own
such
ice
a
cream.
kind of slam.
Right.
It was so, and I can't, how do I come back with that, you know?
You gotta tell. I think you.
Your
guys
mother
should do
committed suicide.
something.
Or what? I don't know if his
Or
mother
whatever is
did.
personal, yeah.
Or whatever is super personal. But how great is that? You for a guy who looks like he makes his own ice cream.
I remember you went on after, I think it was Kevin Nealon at one point. We might have to cut this out. But you did,
No, we
you went
could
after
leave
his, the Arnold Palmer commercial he did.
He did just a horrific commercial for prostate medication. And I went after him for being a shill for the drug companies.
Right.
But now that my
love it.
my PSAs are elevated, I'm I don't know if I did the right thing. But I also heard that Kevin, who I like, I mean, he's one of the funniest stand-ups
Yeah.
ever
yeah.
Right.
that I have seen live. Like him live, he's silly, funny, really funny.
Yeah.
And nice guy. But I went after him for just being a sellout. And I heard he saw me do that. He was there. And he just didn't understand it. And the fact to me that he didn't understand it is like, all right, well, we're on
He
different.
might have understood it, but he might have just been like, fuck you. or
But he's
something.
I guess, yeah.
Who
He's always
knows?
nice to me.
I
He
don't
never called me on it. I guess he's a nice guy. He doesn't want to,
A
he
lot of-
knows that he's had all the breaks. Like if you get on SNL,
Yeah.
you're kind of set in a way. Yeah.
Yeah, mostly.
Yeah.
If you're on for a few years, yeah, you're pretty much.
That's
set.
your career. I mean, look at fucking Bill Hader.
Yeah.
Barry he's a superstar.
Did you know the stories about Bill Hader that he would get physically ill before every taping of SNL? He would throw up. He would get he had such stage fright.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude,
he
I
really
had
hated it.
I had the same thing, except I don't have the money to show for it. I would throw up. I would throw up before the first times I would do in stand up.
Yeah.
I would fucking throw up.
Wow.
Wow. So when did that go away? When did
Wednesday? He led me right in. That was,
that...
that's folks. By the way, what you're watching there is just classic comedy. Steve knew that this was the perfect setup. When did that go away? He knew it wasn't going to get an answer like, I think it was 1987.
Are you? Have you ever gotten an audition for Saturday Night Live? Have you ever gone out for SNL?
No, but I did. This is pretty funny. No, they never, which fuck them. That's when I was really funny, too.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm funny now, but back then, my funniness was at a level that was hard to take for a lot of people.
Well, you were so fast and like cerebral, and I saw some of your your sketch and
Early
early stuff, and yeah, you were just like you just shot out of a cannon.
Yes, I was out of my mind.
Yeah.
I was too much back then. Like, I didn't have. It was too like one-notey, I think.
It was like this, like the 30s, the 40s. Or?
This was. Let's see. When did McKinley? McKinley got stabbed.
Well, you
I
had
always go
that
to
great
Sacco.
John Wilkes Booth bit.
By the way,
I always go to Sacco and Vanzetti when I think about the beginning of your career.
Sacco was a fan of mine.
Absolutely.
Vanzetti didn't care for me.
They were anarchists. which we
They were
talked about.
anarchists, and I mean,
Italian.
Sacco dug what I did. Vanzetti thought I was derivative. It was the words.
In a way, you're sort of an Italian anarchist, but you're not. You're not.
Yeah, and when they got executed, because Vanzetti wasn't a fan of mine, I really didn't give a fuck. I was hoping Sacco would get off, but they were a pair.
Yeah.
They couldn't let one off.
No, you gotta.
If
you're
you're
a
gonna
pair, you
sentence just one, what's the?
yeah, Laurel and Hardy, they gotta stay together.
Laurel and Hardy were executed together. God, that was a great movie. I don't know if a lot of people
Yes.
saw that
I
movie.
like that, yeah.
With Coogan
Oh,
and John C.
really
again.
good.
So good, yeah. They were both great.
Stan and Ollie, right?
Mhm.
Such a fucking sad
Yeah.
but
Yes.
beautiful movie.
Yeah.
God, I love Steve Coogan so much. too.
Steve Coogan
Oh,
is great.
Mhm.
And also super duper funny.
Yeah.
Have you seen all those trip movies that he's done? Those like the
With,
trip to Italy and
Mike
France.
Bride? No, not Mike.
Rob Brydon. yeah.
Rob.
Mhm.
Mike Bryden just released a special. Mike Bridenstine, I mean.
Oh, right.
But
The Bride of.
The Bride of Mike Bridenstine.
don't Don't start.
I apologize.
This is what happens when I riff around. I want to go back like 2 threads ago, and I forget it.
What were we talking about? We were talking about the beginning of your career when you were nervous and growing up,
And then we went.
Oh, when you got started.
I need like a guide
SNL?
dog.
Wait, SNL.
SNL, yeah.
Fuck
You
those
didn't
people.
get to do the SNL audition.
Oh, yes, thank you. But I did get to do. Check this out. Do you remember when Artie Lang, the first time, went nuts?
Yes.
And he was on Mad TV, and they couldn't find him, or they couldn't get him.
He ran away with
Yeah.
the pig nose. There's a whole thing about how they found him and he it was fucked up and he had the costume on or something like that.
Oh, wow.
He lost his shit.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And they were looking to replace him, and they came to me. I was one of the people they were auditioning.
Really?
And they asked me to do 5 characters, put it on tape, and I did. And let's just say I never heard from him.
What characters did you do? Do you remember any of them?
I did guided meditations. I did driving in the rain. No.
That would be so funny.
That would be
Imagine
great.
they were that long. Wait, could someone fast forward through this?
Oh my God.
It's a 40-minute audition tape.
I did Al and Margaret.
What was that one thing you did with the brain cell that
You remember that?
Yeah, there was something you
Yeah, I used to do. This was one of the first things I ever did. Was a brain cell committing suicide, because he was really an artistic brain cell, and he had to solve problems like if a train is traveling at 90 miles an hour and leaves Kansas City at 2:30. I remember getting these math problems. You ever remember that type of shit?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, if a train is traveling. I remember when I was a kid reading this shit going, my father beats me. Why are you giving me this kind of difficulty?
Yeah, I was bad at that too.
Were you?
Yeah, I was horrible at that.
Isn't it amazing the people who are good at that stuff?
Yeah, I think it's people who can calm down and just think things through in a very strategic way, and I think people like us, are just flooded with anxiety
Emotion.
and emotion, and I think we
Right.
when it's when it's dividing, multiplying, I'm fine with that.
Me
but if
too.
it's the other shit is
Right.
Combining everything.
But also another math thing that fucked me to death. If you pinned me down and tied me and fucked me
Yeah.
was calculus.
Oh yeah. That
Calculus.
was tough.
will
Yeah.
I
dirty.
and I had so many friends who were like, yeah, I passed calculus, and I
got all D's. I got all D's in everything foreign language and calculus and all that. My only good grades were history and English. That was it.
yeah.
Everything else was shit. It was A's and that and D's and everything else. It was
That's
crazy.
similar to my thing. How about you, Kev?
My boy's in Algebra 2 right now. He's 14. And I told him.
I didn't
yesterday-
mind algebra.
Algebra, I didn't have too much problem with, but I told him, when I took Algebra 2, my sophomore year of college. And he's like, really? And I was like, yeah, Dad barely graduated high school. But,
Yeah.
but it blows me away. He's good at He's one of those guys that just kind of.
Yeah. Where do you think he's going to wind up? I mean, beside
He wants
prison.
Right, yeah. He wants to be an architect. He wants something artistic.
Architect?
Yeah, he wants to
That's
be
very mathematical, is it
Yeah,
not?
yeah. Well, he likes engineering, but he also likes art and stuff. And I was like, well, there you go, an architect.
Tell him I have a book on flying buttresses that I think he'll enjoy.
Oh, he'd love that. If you could do a little inscription on the inside too, that'd be great.
Oh my God, Frank Lloyd Wright, one of my.
yeah.
There's a lot of Frank Lloyd. Have you ever
Frank
been to
Geary? Frank Geary is another one.
Frank Geary?
Isn't he a
Yes,
architect?
Geary, Lloyd Wright.
A lot of Franks. Frank Thomas.
No, but Frank Thomas,
That's all I got.
Chicago White Sox
Yes.
slugger, who also designed bird huts. Right?
Oh,
he
did he?
designed bird huts.
Well, he's
but
he's called
intricate.
the Big Hurt. Is his
The
nickname.
Big Hurt.
And now he
Yes.
shells. He does
Oh,
commercials for.
it's so sad.
Some horrible.
What
nuclear
it's
something.
so pathetic. The athletes who wind up doing. Joe Namath does some horrific fucking commercial.
Ring cameras. He's doing ring-
No, it's not Ring cameras. Anyway, Frank.
Joe Namath. Why is Joe Namath? Maybe that was also a time where athletes weren't making as much money, so maybe I can understand he didn't. Maybe he didn't
Yeah.
save.
What's amazing though is he won the Super Bowl for the Jets in 1969. It was. I think he got overshadowed by Woodstock, which was also 69, and Country Joe and the Fish had a terrific Woodstock. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Say 1, 2, 3, 4. What are we fighting for?
I don't like. I'm more of an Altamont fan. I like the
Altamont was a terrific little concert where someone got stabbed.
Hells Angels. They would.
Sonny Barger?
Sonny Barger, yeah, of the Hells Angels.
I think everybody has seen that movie. Did you see it, Altamont, with the
did
Stones?
not,
They
no.
really blame Jagger for being the one who was really the. Some people say that he
I thought he was. I thought Jagger was trying to calm people down. He was like, "People,
Well, I think the
people, what
going-
are we fighting about?" He was yelling.
leading
stuff
into it. I think
What'd he do?
I think he was like okay with. I don't want to get anything wrong here, so take
with
this
the
out.
Angels.
With the Angels, yeah.
They don't care. The Stones. The
Stones aren't gonna sue
Stones
us.
don't give a shit about you. They're good. They're good.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
doing
yeah. I don't know
terrific.
about any ongoing lawsuits about the Altamont disaster. But no, I think people had blamed Jagger. I think because he kind of let them do what they wanted to do and kind of take over.
When he starts doing that rooster dance, people,
Yes.
it's hard to control your violent
Oh,
urges. You know?
yeah. Well, the fucking man, that was just if you touch their bike, Now with me,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
that's what happened. There's somebody
Yeah.
pushed over his bike, and I remember hearing Barger being interviewed. Barger, by the way, Sonny Barger, one of our leading intellectuals in this culture.
Since passed.
I
He's
lo-
passed.
Has he
He has
passed?
passed. Yeah.
When is this movie? When did this movie come out?
Altamont?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
Give me shelter.
Early
shelter,
70s,
right?
I
early
think.
70s.
Yeah.
And it
early
was
70s.
directed by a young George Lucas. No, it wasn't. It,
It was the Pennebaker, I think.
Pennebaker,
Yeah,
who was
Pennebaker
great. He
did it.
did Don't Look Back, Bob
Yeah.
Dylan,
Ah, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
My Hero.
I think it was Pennebaker or it was the Maisels brothers. I could be wrong.
The Who?
The Maisels was it the
No.
Maisels?
No, you're thinking of Marvelous Miss Maisel.
That's right.
You always want to get unplugged for Marvelous Miss Maisel because,
Yeah. We have friends who write for the show. That's why.
That's right. Jen Kirkman writes for
Yeah.
Marvelous.
does she
Miss
really?
Maisel. Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Who else?
Jordan
You said-
Temple. You know,
Okay, I think I know Jordan.
Yeah.
That's good.
We love Miss Maisel. We love what they do with comedy. It's so natural. It's so natural when you have a non-Jewish actress playing a Jewish.
Is that true? That's weird. That's weird, but
Yeah.
whatever.
I knew I liked this show for a reason.
But yeah, the Hells Angels, they touched his bike. Now with me, when I was a child, I had a bike, but it was like 3-speed, right? The chain would come off a lot. But if any other little kid
Yeah.
like touched the bike,
You
I'd
would
be like,
kill him.
I would threaten him for
Mhm.
sure.
Oh, you used a lot of cuddle with kids.
there. Did you just touch my bike? Yeah, I did. All right. That would be the exchange.
The toddler mafia.
The toddler muff.
touch my bike, motherfucker.
Let me tell you something. Did you touch it? Yeah, I did. All right.
Maybe something bad happened.
You gonna do something
Yeah.
about it? No.
Me and my Hell's Little Angels, we're gonna come get you.
Monty Python did the best takeoff on the Hells Angels with Granny's Angels. Do you remember that? Just really old ladies who were kicking ass on their bikes. Do you remember that, Steve?
I don't think I remember.
You ought to check
Yeah.
out a little group called Monty Python.
Huh.
Never heard of him.
Very underground.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta do my job here. We gotta wrap it up.
Let's wrap it
We
up.
gotta wrap it up. Do we have anything
Well,
you
thank
want
you,
to plug,
Steve.
Steve?
No, nothing to plug. It's
Come
just the
on.
Patreon for this show is all I.
That's right.
I wait.
Steve helped set this whole show up. He introduced you to me, Kev.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And then I stopped helping book
Then
guests.
you immediately were like, okay, I'm out.
But we're gonna.
But you helped
guests,
get it
we're
off
gonna
the
get
ground.
occasional guests here and there. I think it'll start maybe
At the
that's something-
beginning.
Yeah, maybe once in a while. If,
This is our first. Is this our first guest in a long time?
Very long time. Yeah. We I mean, I don't know. It's like you don't need a second act. When the main course is so filling, it's
you don't
hard
really
to,
need an.
People like when
I
we
guess.
just
Yeah.
bullshit too.
Yes.
I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
if it's the right guest and it's somebody that like really
Mm-hmm.
adds something and like you want to see a conversation with you guys, but
Yeah.
not to force like famous people on the show. You don't need it.
No.
But we
no.
do that.
We've approached Paltrow. I wanted to talk about her products that
I went
she's-
out to Gates. I couldn't hear anything back. I didn't hear
Bill
anything.
Gates is scared to come on this show.
Yeah. He doesn't want to get real.
He doesn't want to
afraid.
talk about the chat box, the AI.
Oh, I love it. I love the chat.
It's going to eliminate everybody's job.
I know, but while right now it's a fun thing, to enjoy it now.
By the way,
take
they're
it
going to
in.
start charging out the ass for that. It's
Oh,
just in the
absolutely.
developmental stages.
Have you looked at the video and the photo AI now? Have you done the photo AI? I gotta send you that. It's crazy.
It's amazing.
insane.
What does it do? It draws you?
Yeah, you just give it a prompt. If you're good at like giving it a prompt and you know how to do it, it'll send you an amazing photo based off of what you did.
Is it flattering or
It's a bad thing. It's a bad thing for
What, Rob?
humanity.
What were you-
Rob's right. He gave a thumbs down. It's a terrible
thumbs
thing.
down?
Yeah. It's a terrible thing for humanity, but I don't know how we stop it. It would have to be something like.
No, you're one of those
That's true.
apologists. Why did you give a thumbs down, Rob?
Because they're trained on stolen art.
Yeah.
They're trained on
Yeah.
stolen
and
art.
same with video. It's gonna happen as well. Video is gonna be the same, and it's getting close.
I've made some very interesting artificial intelligence art things
Like
from
what?
that. I put in like fat Hitler in a wheelchair, 9/11, and so it has.
Jesus Christ! You've got to tweak this medication, buddy.
No, but it made some hilarious.
It was hilarious.
It was big fat Hitler in a wheelchair.
Did it look like it?
Yeah. I'll show it to you.
I would think it's very hard not to keep doing that kind of
This is
stuff.
a thing
It's-
where I think,
it's-
well, just to
it's
get
fun.
serious, I think we're gonna have to like regulate it. Somebody's gonna have to regulate it. It can't be like this free flowing like let it all happen because.
What do you mean stolen? How is the art? It's trained on stolen
They
art.
basically scrape essentially every image that is available on the internet. So artists-
Caravaggio, whoever.
well, I mean, it's there are some that are trained on like open source collections of art, but those collections aren't big enough.
Right.
So
Right.
they just go into ArtStation or any other like portfolio site. So people are posting their art so that they can get work or just to share it with other people. But now it's being scraped by these tech companies that then turn around and sell access to the AI models that are trained on it. Now, I think Steve's 100% right that there's very little that we can do to stop this. I would like
Right.
to see something where there's some sort of licensing arrangement or regulated thing where you get paid if your art has been
Hell
used to train
yeah.
it. You know, that
Well,
would be
they're
nice.
already starting to with SAG. SAG's negotiating right now about like the usage of people's faces in AI because that's going to start happening. And I think
Crazy.
the WGA is also negotiating that right now. So they're figuring out how to use it because
They better.
they're writing.
They better.
They're already starting to write scripts with it and writing like treatments and whatnot. Yeah, they're
wild.
using it.
like write me a script in the style of
with
Walking
If
Dead.
you give it a certain amount of prompts and you can be very good at that, and then you can kind of get what you want. And not saying that it's like the final shooting script, but you can get things like you can get storyboards and things like that. It's going to take away
How
a lot
about
of
this?
jobs.
How about this in like a couple of years, ladies and gentlemen? We are now going to present you two versions of a movie called Hammerhead. Now, one of these was written by AI, and one of these was written by a human being. At the end, you will tell us who the human being is,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think what will happen is a movie's going to come out, and they're going to tell you later on that it was written by AI. That's what I think the move is going to be, and then you're going to be like, "What the?"
I have friends who work, and again, not to brag about that statement, I have friends, but I have friends who work in, like, they do animated stuff, and they say their job is going to be gone.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
I don't know how they stop this unless they put a stop to it or regulate it soon because it's getting out of control.
It already is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's too good. The technology's already there enough to like.
Also, what does this mean as far? Oh, we should wrap it up. But what
Yeah,
does this mean as far as the singularity? Like,
It's
this is
getting
this
closer.
is called generative artificial
Yes.
intelligence.
Yeah. No, I think it's just another step closer. Absolutely. Yeah. But if you want to,
We're gonna wake up. I swear to God, one day we're going to wake up to a machine in our bedroom sketching us. Like, you know how those portrait guys are on a boardwalk
Right.
saying, hey, would you like a sketch?
With a
It's
sex,
gonna be
with
like-
a sex robot next to you, right?
Yeah.
Well, that
God
I'm not
willing.
totally opposed to.
God willing.
You know?
That's the future I'm looking forward to.
I mean, let's let things happen. But to wake up to, like, a robotic portrait artist in your kitchen. Like, sometimes I'll get up in the middle of the night. I want a bagel. You know,
Carbs. You're hungry for carbs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I crave carbs constantly. I'm not one of those people who's like afraid of a carb.
No, you lean in. You lean into the carbs.
And you're in blocking the refrigerator as a portrait artist robot. Please stand still.
Yeah.
And I'm like, come on, man, get out of the fucking way. I want to get into the lox and the cream
Yeah.
cheese.
And they always make you look less attractive than you actually are. It's kind of rude. It's not cool.
Yeah.
Like they think
You
we're
look-
on the boardwalk.
Yeah, you look clownish. Yeah.
All right, everybody.
All right, folks. I love that you just point. I knew exactly what you meant.
I
So
know.
you just point.
Well, it could go on and on and on.
It could go, folks. This could go on and on and on forever. But I know you guys need a break at home from all this brilliance. Make sure to go leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. Send us an email to eddiepetpodcast@gmail.com.
Look at
And,
Steve. He looks like he's been hammered over the head.
And
Hammerhead. Which one was written?
I'm just thinking about how long it's going to take me to drive home.
You looked like you were thinking about that.
Yeah. If you do want
Traffic's
to,
going the other way, by the way. No?
I don't know.
Don't go on the 5. Go ahead, Kevin.
this is a kind of exclusive content that you can expect if you go to our Patreon, where we give you exclusive content. Bread and Circus, we get you the video of the day that the episode comes out, and some exclusive Eddie Pepitone stuff. If you want to support both these beautiful men next to me, go check out the Bitter Buddha or any of Eddie's specials. They're absolutely hilarious. I watch them with my kids before bed every night. And,
Put them right to sleep.
Put them right. Puts them right out.
I go, Daddy, is the world really that bad?
I go, yeah, it is. honey."
Daddy,
Papa?
why does he have no punchlines? It's all character.
He just keeps kind of saying all the horrible things that are happening in the world.
One time, Doug Benson said that to me when I got off stage. I was performing at, what did they call that show in Vermont that Natasha Leggero ran for a while?
The
J-
Tiger Lily.
Tiger Lily.
Yeah.
I got off stage and I killed, and he just he was shaking his head going, not one joke. And you know what I said to Doug? I said, that's your cross to bear.
Guys, thanks so much for joining us on Apocalypse Soon. We will see you next week.
And thank you, everybody. And I want to thank Steve Feinartz, who didn't have to stay this long, but it was a very nice conversation. And please write us a review. And remember, you have just listened to Apocalypse Soon, the podcast with no upside.